Hello everyone. So maybe this is the last online lecture that I'm going to discuss since I did not give you an online discussion on chapter 3 because it is a self-explanatory. So for an abstract, I'm going to discuss further on this part because there are some certain areas that needs to explain more or elaborated. So the other term for abstract, it is a concise summary of a research paper. So this is the summary of your entire manuscript. For your full copy of your manuscript, so it is a concise into a smaller version. Okay, so again, the abstract is a concise summary of a research paper or a thesis or an article that provides the brief overview. Okay, it summarizes or it provides a brief overview of your combination of the different parts of your study, chapter 1, 2, and chapter 3, like the purpose of the study, the methods, the key findings, and conclusions. So it is typically the first section of a paper, as you can observe in your manuscript or the sample of the previous manuscript, and it serves as a standalone document that allows readers to quickly understand the essence of the research without having to read the entire documents. Instead of reading for example, you have 300 pages. Instead of reading 300 pages, by just simply reading the abstract, they can fully understand the whole concept of your paper. Okay, so the primary purpose of an abstract have, for example, size. One of that is the concise summary, also the information retrieval, the indexing and database searching, and there are also different components of the abstract. We have research problem or objective, we have methodology, key findings, and conclusion, and then the bottom part, the keywords. So we're going to discuss that one by one. So again, there are different purposes of abstract. One of that is the concise summary. So when we say concise summary, the abstract will provide a condensed version of the entire research paper, highlighting the main points in a few paragraphs. This is like an example of mini craft. Okay, like for example, a big building like a hotel. Okay, so they can create a smaller version so that any investors or clients might see the whole view of a large building. Okay, you can also observe that, for example, I think I observed that in BQ Mall. There are times that they provide a smaller version. For example, also in Camellia Homes. Okay, so instead of the clients will go to the actual actual buildings or actual houses or actual place on the Camellia Homes, the village or the condominium, for example, they will create a small version. Okay, so that the clients or the investors can easily view the entire spaces or the entire condominium or unit. Okay, so the abstract, one of the purposes that is to provide a concise summary. Okay, it is a condensed version of the entire research paper. That is why some also use the term capsule. Okay, the entire treatment, just put it in the small version. Okay, the capsule. Also, the other purpose of the abstract is for retrieval of the information. So the readers often use abstract to quickly determine if a paper is relevant to their own research or interest. Just like you personally, when you search for the literature background on your related study or related literature, instead of you reading the entire research paper, if it is relevant or not, that you will put in your chapter 1 and also in chapter 2. So instead of reading the whole paper, you will just read the abstract. So you can easily identify if that study is relevant or not. Okay, so this is for retrieval information. The third one, indexing and database searching. So abstract are used by academic databases and search engines to index and categorize the research papers and make it easier for researchers to find relevant sources. So an abstract typically includes the following components. So there are different components as I have discussed earlier. Okay, so we have research problem or objectives. That is in your statement of the problem. You have methodology, so we have different subparts of methodology, the environment, respondents, etc. And the key findings that is found in chapter 2, okay, the summary of the findings. Fourth one, conclusion, that is found in chapter 3. And lastly, in the bottom part, the keywords. Okay, so it lists all the relevant keywords that help researchers find the abstract in online databases. Instead of writing all the title or the entire paper, you just write the keywords. Okay, so this specific format and length of the abstract may vary based on the requirements of the journal or conference where the research is being presented. So I'm going to provide an examples here as to the format based on the BISO unified format. So overall, the abstract is a critical part of research paper as it plays an important role in communicating the study's significance and findings to a broader audience. So, as to BISO unified format, okay, this would be 250 to 300 words only. Okay, 250 to 300 words only. So there's also a strategy on how to count the words, not counting it manually. So you can use the word file to easily count the words of your abstract. Next, it must be a full block. Okay, no indentation, full block. And this is only one paragraph. Okay, and then you need also to remember there is no doctor, miss, and others in the abstract, but depends on the manual of the research because of the standardization. But for BISO, yes, we should not add or put doctor or miss in the abstract. And there's no citation also. This is one of the common mistakes of the students. They put in-text citations in the abstract, so that is not part of the BISO unified format. So the information of the researchers must be written in the abstract, like email, email ad, schools, and contact number. Right, let's proceed to, so this is the example of an abstract. As you can see here, again, there are 3 spaces in between the word abstract and the abstract itself, and it is one paragraph. As you can observe, it is a one paragraph, and it's a total of, I don't know the exact total here, but it is in between 250 to 300 words. Okay, and it is full block. It means there's no indentation. Full block. Okay, now let's proceed to the parts of the abstract as we have discussed a while ago. Okay, the first sentence of the abstract must be the introduction of the topic. Okay, the introduction of the topic in the rationale of your paper. So don't worry about the grammar. Don't use the redundant words. Okay, again, in the sentence 1 and 2 in the abstract, it must be the introduction of the study or the rationale of your study. Sentence 3, it must be the objectives of study. Okay, your statement of the problem. Okay, but it should be the main problem only. And then before the methods, again, when you publish a paper in your thesis, example, you write Cebu, but you will change it into Philippines, okay, because Cebu is not known from foreign readers, okay. Sentence 3, it's about the methods, not the sentence 3, part 3, the methods that you have used, okay. The fourth one, the major results of the study, the key findings, and last part, the conclusion, okay. So we will have an example here. Again, introduction, objectives of the study, methods being used, and major results of the study, and the last part, the conclusion. So let's take a look on this example. So first one, that is the introduction. Here, food safety remains a significant concern on a global scale despite recent technological advancement, regional laws, and investments. Every year, 600 million cases of foodborne illness, 420,000 families, and 56 million people die from unsafe food. Similar to other provinces, Bohol was said to have the major instance of foodborne illness. Bohol is renowned for its tourist attractions, magnificent hotels, stunning beaches, etc., etc. So there are gaps in the resource operators. Bohol, okay. And then this one, okay. So this is the introduction part, or the rationale, okay. This one, the red one, okay. The part 2 is the objectives, so we'll find different color here. So we only have one color. Okay, we'll just use the highlighter. No, we have an ink here. We will use green. Part 1. Okay, part 1, introduction. Part 2, objectives of the study. So this is the objectives of the study. We'll try, okay. Objectives of the study. The goal of this study was to determine whether the business has been following standard food safety practices and to recommend any areas in which they may improve, particularly in the food and beverage department, under the result of this study. Okay, so this is the example of the objectives of the study. Next, methods. The researchers, okay, methods, color violet. The researchers distributed the survey questionnaire to the 26 respondents. Okay, this is part of the methodology. It is part of research procedure, right? Plus the Ivy Wall resorts in Panglao. The questions are grouped into 4 tables. To achieve the objectives of the study, research used the descriptive survey method with the aid of questionnaire that use close-ended questions as the main tool of the gathering the data, etc. Okay. Safety practices implemented in the Best Western plus the Ivy Wall resorts in Panglao. Okay. So this part for the methodology. Okay. Red for introduction, green for objectives, violet for the methodology. Okay, so we're done with the methodology. Next, fourth part, major results of the study. Okay, blue, we're going to use blue. major result of the study. Okay, so most respondents are aged between 18 to 25. Okay, so key findings, major results of the study. The results show that there is no significant difference. Meanwhile, there's a significant variations in the age, etc. Food stores observed by the food and beverage employees who also adhere to the standard in food safety practices. So this is the part for the key findings or the major results of the study. And lastly, the last part would be the conclusion. We're going to use orange for the conclusion. Food and beverage employees highly practice the standard food preparation, food quality, food hygiene. They completely comprehend and adhere to industry recognized food safety standard to ensure guest security and satisfaction with the service rendered. Okay, so this is part for the conclusion. Right. So this is a concise summary or brief overview of the entire manuscript. It is composed of different parts. Part 1, introduction. Part 2, objectives. Part 3, methodology. Part 4, key findings or major results. And part 5 for conclusion. Now let's proceed to the keywords. Okay, this keywords is wrong. Okay. The keywords here is wrong. Okay. So for the keywords, maximum of 5, minimum of 4. So there are also different parts of keywords. You just not just randomly put keywords for your abstract. There is a proper arrangement and content of keywords. So keywords used to search the paper. The first keyword must be the discipline, like education, business. Second keyword is about the concepts of the study based from the title, like the teacher attitude and others, housekeeping practices and all. Third keyword is about the methods of the study, like if it is qualitative, if it is mixed method, or it is a qualitative or an experimental and others. The fourth keyword is about the geography. Okay, geography like the Philippines. So we are going to follow these 4 keywords. So as you can see here, this is a wrong keywords. Food safety and practices, it is not discipline. Safety practices, quality management. So it is wrong. Let's find a appropriate keywords here. As you can observe, it did not follow the BISO unified format because it is based on the J-pair multidisciplinary research. Again, it depends on the publication or journal. Okay, so this is just only an example. We're going to focus only on the keywords. The first part or the first keyword is about the discipline. What is the discipline? About business management. Okay, business management. What is the concepts? We'll use red color here. This is the discipline. What areas of the study is, if it is business, health, education, sports, religion. So that is for the first keyword, the discipline. Next is the concept. concept of your study. So what is the concept under the business management? We are going to discuss about the green color for the concept. We'll discuss about the tourist satisfaction. Okay, tourist satisfaction under the business management. So that is the second keyword. For the third is about the methods. What methods or what research design being used? So here we're going to use descriptive methods. And the fourth one for geography. Again, these methods, you can find this in your research design. And fourth, geography, it is in Philippines. Okay. Since this is not yet a publishable paper for your thesis, so you can use other specific places or province, Bohol, or you can also use municipality. But for if you're going to publish this one, you're going to use the name of the country. Since, for example, Bohol is not known to other, especially to the foreign readers or researchers. Okay, so for the safety, we're going to use Philippines. But in your case, you can use specific place of your, you can add here the research environment. Okay, but not the name of the establishment. Okay, for example, name of the establishment, you're going to use what location of that establishment. But you can also use Philippines. Okay, that's all for abstract. So don't forget also to answer the quizzes. Bye bye.